maybe soft was not the best. Maybe that wasn't the right choice of words. I didn't really think about the reach that Joe Rogan's podcast had.
I'm a little intimidated at this point.
As you should be.
I never felt short in my life like I do today. You know, like I'm 6'2". I feel like I'm pretty much the tall guy in most rooms I walk into until now.
Once you see like both of us together in the same room,
it's a little much, to be honest with you.
Do you need a minute?
I'm just like, it's just a little crazy right now. You know, I feel like this is like biblical or something, you know, this is like something that you read in the Bible, you know, of people this size. I don't have a slingshot. I don't know what to do right now.
I think David and Goliath is going to happen once. So
so one time.
I'm going to need all the angels to help me in this one, if that is the case.
Oh, man. Well, Bella, I'm so happy you're here because you honestly are one of my favorite people in WWE at the moment. I mean, he has these so many qualities. He's very Kane-like, only bigger, which is insane. Insane to think about how big Kane is. But I mean, as a human being, just an unbelievable human being, and
thank you.
only begin to scratch the surface, I think, of what you're going to do with WWE, man. So I'm very excited for you to be here because obviously we talk quite a bit on the phone.
We talk quite a bit, and, a lot of it.
It's Undertaker, PhD, psychology.
Yes, pretty much. But I would say like I've been grateful to have someone of the caliber in my corner, and it doesn't go unstated how, when I think about it, like our conversations, when we talk, when you text me, every time you see me at the PLEs, even when I'm not performing, like, big fella, you okay? It means the world to me. So the fact that you even take time out of your busy schedule to even, acknowledge me and say hi, no pun intended, even like, come in, take me under your wing, it means the world to me.
Well, I see so many qualities in you that I appreciate. I just kind of wish I was still around, that I could because I would honestly, if I was still working, man, it would even be worse because I would be grooming you to be an opponent. So yeah. I mean, we'd have a year-long run at least. It's just you're in a situation now where it's kind of crazy because there's nobody for you to work with.
Not really.
Yeah, but you got to play the patience game, and we've talked about that. Mm-hmm. But I think the big thing now is like they've realized, I think, now that things have kind of switched over. I think they're protecting you enough now where you're not where I don't think before. It's like, so and so needs an opponent. Wow, well let's beat our giant. It's just like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So I think I know you're not where you want to be, and involved, but sometimes it's for the better. And
it is. I remember my wife was telling me just a couple of days ago, like since you got on the main roster, it was kind of like this upward trajectory, and sometimes you need like a recalibration to even things out and start right back again. Like it's just time to work on other things, as a career, your acting, speaking, just other intangibles that help you become a better performer. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, you'll be fine. It's just you got to play the long game. I mean, we've talked a lot, but I don't really know. Because I'm kind of in the moment, like when I'm around the guys or around people. So I'm in the moment of what's kind of going on currently. I don't even really know your story, like of
how long do we have?
Well, we got as long as you. You have as long as you want. So.
Oh man, my story. Me obviously. Nigerian giant. I mean, I'm from Nigeria. Came to America when I was 15 years old by myself.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Originally, actually, the way it happened was the general manager for the Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri, back when he was a scout for the Denver Nuggets, he used to run a camp early in the 2000s, 2003, 2004, called the Nigerian Top 50. And he will go to all the NBA players and say, hey, guys, you have kids back home in Nigeria who need shoes, whatever shoes you're not wearing. Because these NBA guys, they'll get like 5 to 20 pairs of sneakers a season. By the time the season's done, they just toss them out. And he's like, no, give me the sneakers. The kids back home who don't have shoes.
Right.
And I remember the first time I went to the camp, I was 13 years old, and I had like one shoe that was pretty beat up. I couldn't get shoes because I was growing so fast. And I go to this camp. It was the last day for people who wanted to get into the camp. They already had their selected 50. And I walk up to the registration. They go, who are you? And I go, my first name is Tolulope. I go, my name is Tolu. He goes, how old are you? I'm like, he goes, no way. And I think around this time I was like 6, 7.
At 13.
At 13. So every time I say it, it's pretty wild. And then I remember he goes, oh, no, you're lying. Do you have proof? Because, back home, a lot of kids lie by the age. States, right? And I go, luckily enough for me, my aunt worked at the facility where they were hosting the camp. I go, my aunt works here. She's actually one of the big wigs. Like, I can go get her. He was like, go get her. And thank God Almighty that she was working that day.
Wow. So
I run over, like, Aunt, I need you right now. Like, you have all these scouts from America saying I'm lying. Like, I need you to be my, to vouch for me. She comes and she goes, no. This is my little nephew. He's 13. He just looks big because he's all the food in the house. And they go, holy shit. Put me in the camp, and that camp pretty much changed my life. I was like, I think it was between the ages at the camp, like 15 to 18. Yeah, coaches from America trying to recruit kids to come to high school. And I was the youngest kid at the camp. I could not walk and chew bubble gum. I used to wear glasses because I think prior to going to that camp, I just started playing basketball, I think about like 2 or 3 months prior. So I was still like a super green in basketball. So I was pretty much tossing with the wolves, and you have all these kids who are like, they've been playing for 3-4 years, and I'm trying to figure it out. But lucky enough, man, like that going to that first camp changed my life. And then I went to the camp for 2 more years. And then when I was 15, I got a scholarship. I was actually supposed to go to, how familiar are you guys with high school basketball hoops?
I'm a little removed from it from my days.
All right. So we're about to go into some high school basketball hoops. There's a school there's a school currently in Orlando called Montverde Academy. It's one of the top schools in the whole country. Like Ben Simmons played there. What's his name? The kid for the Lakers, he was there as well. I was originally supposed to go there. Right. But what happened was when I got to get my paperwork through the U.S. immigration, my parents said, since I already had a scholarship, theirs would take too long, for them to get their visas and everything. They was going to send me. And then what happened was I went for my interview, bombed my first interview, so I lost that scholarship. And then I got sent to another school, which is a blessing as well, another high-level school, Marcus Christian, coached by legendary high school coach Stu Vetter. He's won multiple national championships. Right. And then I remember getting a scholarship, doing an interview, and coming to America by myself at the age of 15.
Wow, that's crazy. It's so funny because, like, when I played basketball, when I was getting ready, I got an opportunity to play. So I grew up in Houston, right? So I got a chance to play with all the guys on Phi Slamma Jam in the summer leagues, right?
Oh my goodness!
And then
awesome.
I got to play at Fondy Rec, which Fondy Rec in Houston in the summer, you never knew who would be in there, whether it be Moses Malone or Barkley or all these guys, right? And then I had a high school coach who went to the University of Houston, and then I'd get to go up to Hallfine's Pavilion and play with the current Cougars at the time, the University of Houston guys. I was there when Olajuwon was there.
Wow.
And I was convinced that everybody from Nigeria was tall. Like,
every one of them.
Everybody. It's like, how are all these people coming from Nigeria that are all 6'11" and 7 foot and incredible footwork? So a funny story. So I'm in high school still, and so I'm playing with all these guys. There's Clyde Drexler's there, Larry Michaud, Rob Williams. All these guys are playing, and so I get on the team finally. I get a run, and I'm playing the 2. Like I'm a 5. I'm a 5.
You're playing 2?
I'm playing 2.
You're shooting guard.
I have no business. I have no business. I have no business at the 2, right? So we're coming down the court, and you can help me with this because I'm probably going to say it wrong, but so I'm on Akeem's team, right? And so I'm bringing the ball up the left side, and he's running. And like, dude, he was incredible. His footwork and everything was just next level.
Absolutely.
He's running on the other side, and so Doma is it like a pass? He's wanting me to throw him an alley-oop.
An alley-oop, yes.
Yeah. So, but he was saying it in Nigerian, I guess, or whatever. I don't know what it was saying, but it wasn't. He was pointing, and I'm like, I just crossed mid-court, and he's already on the end, and he's pointing for an alley-oop. And I'm like, oh, crap. So, but I let it loose, man, and I threw it. The ball, I was like, oh, dang, right, and I threw it. The ball was way above the box, and I'm thinking, crap, I just threw that away, and no. He caught the ball on the run above the box, dunked on this dude, man. And comes back, and we're running back up the court, and he kind of gives me a little nice pass, man. And I'm like,
hold on. You had an assist
yes.
with Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yes.
in a pickup game.
I don't care if it's in a pickup game or not.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there thinking okay, you've got this 30-year Hall of Fame wrestling career, and just now,
you play with
now you've got me like, holy crap.
Dude,
I never knew this.
I played, and so then I ended up going to the University of St. Thomas, and we ended up hosting the Coors Light Summer Pro League. So I got to play with Moses. I got to play with Barkley. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wait, hold on. Did these guys know that? Did
I don't
they
even know
remember?
if they know who I am.
I'm sure they know who you are.
But
do
not
they
who I was.
remember that you were there for that?
You should. Whenever you see them, you definitely let them
I
know.
should, because I don't think. They have no clue. Like, because I was just a skinny redheaded, kid that I look a lot different now. But
I'm sure they'll be like blown away that
The
they found
internet
out.
needs to make this happen.
I don't know,
Yes.
because I've done signings. I've done signings with, or been in the room with Clyde and Hakeem, and I never crossed.
But you're never the guy that will go up and go, "Hey, do you remember when I did this?" You're not that guy.
You're not.
Yeah, Hoffine's Pavilion, man. Anyway. So I threw this errant pass that Hakeem made me look like I was Magic Johnson, man. He was just like,
I would have that picture blown up in my house. That would be over my fireplace.
You got to look
I
back.
tell you the story every week.
Yes.
I play with Hakeem.
Well, yeah. It didn't help me much. I ended up with a 30-some-odd year career in wrestling, but
It still worked out,
it worked
the
out the way it was-
cardio, the fork.
it worked out the way it was supposed to. But yeah.
Oh my God, I never knew that.
You never knew?
No. I know you said like you played with a couple of guys that made it to the
He
NBA,
makes it
but
seem like no.
it's like I played with a couple of guys made it to the NBA,
NBA.
not top 50 of all time guys.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was how at Fonde Rec, if you got in a game and you lost, there's a good chance you're not getting another run the rest of the day. That's how competitive that was. Wow. And I'm talking about NBA guys and everything. They just like it was at that time, man. It was the place to play during the summer.
Wow.
And if you got an opportunity. And it was, I didn't get many opportunities to get on the floor.
Yeah.
But it was pretty special.
Wow.
Have you heard of Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League, ABL? AEBL. A guy I went to high school with started that, and it's the same thing in the summertime. You
They
get
have pro-ams.
you get a lot of NBA guys come. You'll have celebrities, entertainers, and they'll play like T.I. will get to play with.
Wow.
Whoever is on the Hawks or something. You know, and
I don't know why would somebody would want to. Get humbled like this, like you get a couple of you get a couple of NBA guys on the.
It's different, man. It's different. People don't understand. Like even the worst NBA guy is actually a lot better than you think he is.
If you're the 12th on the man on the bench, you're still better
Stuck.
than 95% of the people in the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I remember when they had the lockout in like 2011. Because I was just going to college that year, and all the guys were training in Tampa, guys playing NBA guys as well, and it was just astounding to see like how different it was from like high level professional to like college. Like the separation was like, oh my goodness, this is what a professional looks like.
It's pretty stark. Yeah.
But Maven said something when he was on the show that kind of made your eyes go, well, okay, I never even thought about that. I think professional wrestling, it's even a smaller fraternity, right? You're talking about guys that actually like made it on television, guys that made it to WWE. If you think about the amount of guys that made it there, it's a much smaller number than NBA, Major League Baseball. I mean, like to be able to make it.
That's
like how many folks are on the roster right now?
It's about 100 and something.
Yeah, in an entire league. 100 and something. NFL, there's 52 guys on every team.
You make a very good point.
NBA, there's 30 teams with 12 guys. Major League Baseball, 26 guys on 32 teams. And as a league or as a, that WWE's got such a smaller amount of people that actually make it to the pros.
Become.
I'd say we count people who make it on TV.
That's a good point. So, I had a question before you started talking, and now I kind of lost it.
CTE, man.
It is real.
See, I was going to say old age, but I didn't want to say it.
It's probably a combination. It's probably a combination of both of those things. So, As a kid, were you a fan of wrestling as a kid?
You know what? I was a casual. My grandmother loved wrestling. And it didn't take me until, when you have like those memories you forget, and you have those memories in the back of your mind. And I remember when I got signed, and I said like having flashbacks when I was a kid. And I remember the first, and you're going to get a kick out of this, the first wrestling match I ever watched was WrestleMania 2.
WrestleMania 2.
You and Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, dude, wait a minute. Okay.
That was the first wrestling match I ever watched in my entire life.
I would have, and that didn't turn you away from it?
No, I remember like my grandmother's house. They had it was like a small little flat upstairs, and they had a living room, and we just sit there, and it was wrestling on they had like a little cube, those old school TV boxes.
Oh yeah,
and we were watching and I remember vividly watching that match.
That actually was WrestleMania 9, I think. It was in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yes, it was in Las Vegas, yes, Las Vegas.
Yeah, I've tried to wash that out of my brain, but yeah, I was. Jack Gonzalez had kind of the same story. Like he came, I think the Hawks brought him.
The Hawks brought him. Yep.
He was just. I mean, not to be disparaging about it. I mean, he just had absolutely zero athletic ability. It was nuts. Like he was 7 foot. You're what, 7'2"?
7'3". I think it was like 7'6".
He was 7'7.5".
Goodness.
He was almost a foot taller than me. Yeah, just. There's shots at Mayhem. You just look it up, and most people are thinking, "Wow, Undertaker's sizing him up." He's like, "No, Undertaker is wishing he was anywhere but here right now." He pushed me to my limit. He was a nice guy too. He was a very nice guy. He just was in over his head, and the fur muscle suit really didn't
help you.
Yeah, it didn't help.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
Our great sponsor here, Artisan Grange. We've talked about them for a while now. These guys got a little CBD pouch, 5 milligrams, great flavors.
Which flavor is this?
This is the wintergreen. So if you're trying to come off dip or anything like that, you have to cut. These are brand new cans. Artisan Grange help you out. Ooh, look at you with your knife. I've seen you sitting over there with that today.
I thought I might need it.
Artisan Grange is a company started when a group of former tobacco dippers wanted a dip alternative that actually tasted like tobacco. So they decided to make one on one condition. It supports American farmers. No matter what your taste, hemp dip satisfies without tobacco, nicotine, or fake fillers. Each pouch contains 5 milligrams of full spectrum CBD from the hemp. The community of hemp dippers who have switched from tobacco and other alternatives is a proud group of dippers who have pride in dipping as a simple pleasure again. One you can do because you want to, not because you have to, and supporting the American tradition of farm quality. So, thank you, Artisan Grange, for sending us some of this product. You gotten in there yet?
I can't get in.
What is, man? You can tell you're from the West Coast over here in Texas.
The West Coast. The Southwest Coast.
It smells good. Smells like a wintergreen.
Did you get one?
Yeah, it tastes pretty good.
That's pretty,
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, thank you, Artisan Grange, once again, for supporting 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway.
Thank you, Artisan Grange.
Back then, was it, did Vince look at a guy like that and go, oh, man, we just have this massive guy. We've just got to give him in the ring no matter what. But just because of his sheer size.
Yeah.
And at the athletic ability part of it, maybe was put on the back burner
Well,
for a little bit, anyway.
Yeah, and I've told this story a lot. He came in at the same time Yokozuna come in. Ooh. And I'll never forget, it was in the old Baltimore Arena, and Yoko was in the ring. He was doing a dark match, and I'm at the curtain because there was a stage that we could stand on, and there was a big curtain. And I remember I was peeking through the curtain, and the old man was next to me, and we're watching Yokozuna work, and I mean, I'm just amazed because Yoko was like 6'4", 400 pounds, but I mean, he could move like a cat.
Yep.
Man, he was just so good. And I remember about halfway through this match of just shutting the curtains and I was pulling my head back, and I said, please, 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 let me work with him first. Because I had been through a string of opponents at this point. Like, I mean, I had
paid your dues.
I had paid some
like,
serious dues,
man.
And I was like, just please let me work with somebody that can work. And I got the old, he goes, oh yeah, y'all are working time, but I've got something else in mind for you. And I kid you not, walking down the hall towards us now was Giant Gonzalez. And he goes, that is where you're going. And I'm going, no. Because I had fled. People talk, about Ole telling me that I would never draw money and all that, which was obviously a main part of the reasons why I left WCW. Mm-hmm. But also they were trying to get me into a program with Elegante. That was his name there. It was Elegante. And I remember doing a battle royal with him, and it was like a ding, ding, ding. It was like everybody that was in this battle royal all went to completely the opposite side of the ring and tied up with somebody, and it was just me. I'm like, oh crap! I'm the last guy, so I had to get tied up with Elegante, and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna get up here on this second rope, or I'm gonna set on the top rope, and just kind of give me a push, and I'll get out. And anyway, so I do this, and he hits me so damn hard that I spin out of control, and then I hit right on my spine. I hit right on the corner of the apron.
Oof.
And I'm laying, and I'm thinking, oh, that hurt. And I remember going. I remember going backstage, and Kevin Sullivan was there, and he goes, "Hey, kid, what do you think about working with the big fella?" I was like, "Oh, no, I'm good." Yeah. And I'm greener than hell. Like, I got no juice. I have zero juice. They already have told me that I don't have any future here, and no one's ever going to pay money to see me. I'm like, no, I don't need any part of that. And so I end up going to WWE or WWF at the time. And I'll be damned if he doesn't come to WWE. And I still end up working with him.
He wanted to work with you, man. He was like, one time in the Royal Rumble, like, you know what? I need to work with him, man. He's the guy I need to work with.
I know that we can make money. That's all.
Yeah,
That was good.
That was like, oh, you smell it? You smell it? And I was like, you smell the money? And I was like, no, I smell shit. Because
that's exactly what I'm smelling right now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So you watched this match, and how did that match motivate you? Was it, man, I think I could work with a guy like that at this size and actually...
He's talking about Elegante, not me. He wanted to work with... Oh, my Lord.
To be honest, I was captivated, and and for the longest time, I've always been like a casual fan. Like, I've always known about wrestling, right? And the funny thing is, during my AAU days in high school, I got to admit, he's not he's like my dad. His name is Doug Martin. He coaches for the Overtime Elite in Atlanta. You ever heard of Overtime Elite in Atlanta? Midtown is like a high school league that he created for high schoolers to go play, and he coaches there now. And I remember when I was playing with him on the AAU circuits. Some games I'll have like up and downs. You know how it is to play. Like, I'm not feeling it today. And when he wanted to get a match, he would say, if you don't go out there and dunk on all this MFers, tomorrow morning, I'm going to call Connecticut, going to call Vince, and going to go wrestle. And I used to be furious. I'm like, no way, I'm here to play basketball. I can't America play basketball. And the next hour, I would go and drop 30 points, talk at everybody. So like, it was like, wrestling has always been like, behind, like in my life, somewhere, somehow.
Your punishment.
My punishment, yes.
We're going to send you to WWE.
I'm going to call Vince. Is that what you want to do? I'm like, I used to get so furious. I'm like, no. Like me, I just pride. Like, I'm a basketball player. I think back then my identity was wrapped up in basketball. I couldn't see beyond that. And he used to say that all the time. And I remember when I got signed, I called him. I said, hey, Coach Doug. He said, what's up? I said, guess what just happened today? He goes, what? I said, I just signed with WWE. He said, what? I said, I just signed with WWE. And he busted out laughing. He said, who would have thought all those years I was just putting, the seeds out into the universe, and look at where we are today.
Man.
Yeah.
See, he wished it into existence.
I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So how long were you in NXT or in the system, I should say? Because you got to go through the whole training process.
I was there I got signed in 2018, and then I was there for 2 years. The pandemic happened. Mm-hmm. And I remember that weekend, my in-laws live in Riverview, which is like outside of Tampa. So I'm like, I'm gonna go stay in my apartment by myself. They told me I wasn't needed for TV, to be the fans. I'm like, I'm going to Tampa. So I'm in Tampa. I remember that first Monday Night Raw filming during the pandemic. I was at home at my in-laws' house watching Raw, laughing at all my classmates like, right. Oh, you guys have to be fans. I'm home watching the show. I'd have to be there clapping because I don't want to do that. And as I'm watching the show, making fun of my classmates, I get a text like, hey, Jordan, you're needed to be in participation tomorrow, Tuesday morning. I'm like, all right, time to go back to Orlando.
Gotta go back to Orlando.
So I drive back to Orlando and go there. So you're gonna, they had the glass thing around the ring at the Performance Center. So I'm just clapping, and I'm like, I'm gonna go there. It's work. I'm still getting paid. I'm gonna go be the best fan.
Yeah,
you're not taking bumps.
I'm not taking bumps. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go there and be the best fan. And to be honest, me going back that Tuesday changed everything because it went from me being in Performance Center, for the rest of that year to like, who the hell is this giant dude in the audience?
Yeah. There were like at that time there were like a lot of big guys there.
Yeah, because I remember you came down right before the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
We were shooting a documentary. It was
Yeah, I was actually getting ready for. I came there. I was getting ready for Mania too.
Yes. With
Yeah.
Yep. With AJ.
Yeah,
AJ stuff.
and I just noticed like, wow, there's a lot of, because if you know, I mean, there's a lot of smaller guys now.
Yeah.
But at that time, man, there
There
was
was a lot of big guys.
there was a lot of big guys. And I was like, oh, okay, all right.
I think it's kind of getting back to that because I'm at the performance center very often. So you have like a good like mixture of like guys that are like Brock size, like 6'4",
Yeah.
6'5", like guys who are coming along.
Yeah, but there was some like I'm trying to
yeah,
talk to these
giants,
guys.
yeah.
And they're like, dang.
Yeah, because I remember when we did documentary. We sat in the room. It was all giants. I think the smallest guy in there. Sorry, Damian Priest was like the smallest. Was like the shortest guy.
And he's like 6'4".
Yeah, he's still a big guy, yeah.
Everybody
And
else.
Riddle, I don't know why Riddle was in there for whatever reason. I don't know. He was sitting in there. And all the big guys in
All the
there.
big guys,
I'm gonna do like a little clinic, and then Riddle came in. I think he just wanted to hear psychology, I guess. But yeah, he definitely
That's right. All this. Now I'm thinking about it. There was a lot of giants.
a lot of big dudes, man.
A lot of big
The first time
dudes.
I ever, you don't remember this, but for his Hall of Fame, we're at the hotel. Me and my wife get on the elevator, and you get on with us at the same time. And we're
You
going
probably
up.
don't. You probably don't.
Yeah,
Remember
you don't
that.
remember this at all. But
I wouldn't.
We're on the
I wouldn't
elevator.
remember.
We're on the elevator. You're super nice to us. We get off the elevator. You go on. You keep riding up. My wife just looked at me. She goes, "That wasn't Shaq, was it?" So, because she's trying to be on her P's and Q's, she's not trying to like fangirl around anybody or anything like that. But we get off, she just looks at me, she goes, "That wasn't Shaq, was it?" And I was like, "No, that wasn't Shaq, babe."
You'd be surprised how often I get that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I get it.
Well, God could be
Oh man, yeah. I was like, no, that wasn't Shaq. This is another tall guy. It's like,
I
oh,
mean, I'm bigger than him, so I get it.
oh, there you go. There
I'm
you go.
bigger than
Yeah.
him,
How
taller
tall
than
is he?
him. He's like 7'1".
7'1". Yeah. So you got a couple inches on him.
Yeah, I got a couple inches of Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think you would have fared against him in the down in the paint?
Shaq was
Dominant.
he was dominant. He was dominant, but he was a freak. I don't think people understand like how like athletic he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was just a genetic freak, and they coupled that with like having the massive size. Like that, I remember like for like 20 years, every NBA team was trying to draft a center to defend Shaq. That was the goal. Like, we have to stop him. We have to stop this dude because he was just so powerful. I mean, I was trying my best, but when I watch his highlights, he was just
drop step,
dunk. Like he just went through, guys' chest. Like he did not care. Like he went through your chest, and that is hard. That is hard to do, especially as a center, like being physical and strong, and he also had like great footwork, which nobody ever talks about. Like his footwork was pretty amazing for someone his size, and he was also very nimble. Like he could just move and run and I remember watching, because when I was in high school, I would watch his highlight tape to get inspiration. Like I'm trying to do what did he do? Trying to do what he did, and it was just like all just watching him from like when he was in Orlando with the Magic, then going to LA, seeing all the different like variations of Shaq. It was just like, wow, like this dude was just impressive.
Yeah, Shaq Kobe was that was special, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Last three-peat in any major sport too.
The sleeper one is people don't ever talk about is him and Penny. If Penny Hardaway never got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Penny. Yeah, he was really injury prone.
Yep.
That would have been special too.
Yep.
Oh man, Kobe was just.
Yeah. I don't understand how that team when Gary Payton and Malone came
All of them,
over,
yeah,
all those
it
guys
didn't
came in,
work.
and they end up going to the finals and don't win a championship like that.
Sometimes it just happens that way.
Yeah.
Not
I think the
quite
Pistons
right.
beat them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was the Pistons that beat them.
Chance to build up saying Rip Hamilton and those guys.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace. Right.
I forgot Malone went over to
Oh
the
yeah.
Lakers.
I mean, you had
Malone,
Gary Payton and Karl Malone go over. Just
Yeah.
They were there for like 2 years.
Yep.
Hoping for, a range.
You still keep up? Like,
I watch highlights from time to time. I think what happened was because I started playing basketball so early, and you can attest to this, I got burnt out.
yeah.
Like, I watch the highlights, talk about basketball, and to be honest, today's basketball is kind of hard for me to watch.
Preach.
It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard sometimes to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the big man, even in basketball now, is it's all three-pointers.
I'm just like,
high pick and roll.
I'm like, go to the block.
Yeah.
Like you don't go to the three-pointer until when they've stopped you on the block. Like, why would you leave a shot in the block that has a high percentage rate and go to one that a good percentage is 40%? I'm like, that's bad. If you say a good rate is 40%, to me, I'm like, that's bad. Why would I want to shoot from a place that the best scorers shoot 40% from the field, from the three-point line?
Yeah.
I'm going to go away 60, 70%.
I agree.
And draw a foul and go to the free throw line every time. Until they stop me, then I'm like, okay, mid-range, they stop the mid-range, then three. But guys, just...
Yeah.
And I get it. It makes the game faster. But
There's just an element missing.
Yes.
There's
Yes. Yes.
And I think, honestly, wrestling too, to a degree, is going through kind of the same thing. It's
You're gonna get me in trouble.
No, I'm not going to get you. No, I'll get myself in trouble. I'll get myself in
Just don't
trouble.
call anybody soft.
And play video games in the locker room.
Yeah, don't call anybody soft. I mean, we've already experienced that once.
Oh my gosh. That's, you know what? That's just, I'm from a different era. I can't. I had this discussion recently with Booker. It is a different era.
It is.
And I can't say too much because you guys are making more money and doing such great business that it's like, it is what it is.
I mean,
I did what I did. I did what I did the way I did it, and it is my humble opinion. I have my humble opinion how things should be done, but obviously it doesn't have to be done that way to be successful.
Fair enough.
But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think that's the big thing, especially with wrestling people and wrestling fans. Mm-hmm. Everything is like, it is like, if I criticized you about something publicly,
Yep.
it's a personal attack. That's the way people perceive it in the rest. It's not a personal attack. This is I'm giving you my opinion on how I would have done it, or how the way I did it doesn't necessarily make it right. It was right for me.
Yep.
But wrestling, and I think, I don't know, man. Just in general, everything. If you criticize something or you say something, like, maybe soft was not the best. Maybe that wasn't the right choice of words. I mean, I was just then starting to talk and come out of my shell.
He hadn't been media trained yet. He was still like coming out the cloak.
Yeah, I didn't really think about the reach that Joe Rogan's podcast had. Who's going to watch that? But everybody,
who's gonna watch?
Nobody watches. Nobody's going to watch this.
Up and coming radio show called Joe Rogan.
What killed me?
What
killed me though was all the passive aggressive tweets that I got from wrestlers. Like, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man! You need to get off this. You need to get off of Twitter and figure out why you're not drawing anything. But
see, there we go again.
I can't help myself.
He can't.
I can't help myself. Damn it. Okay, I love you guys, but no. But when I offer critiques, offer a critique, that's that people are like, well, he needs to, blah, 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 blah. It's just my opinion, and I'm trying to help. I'm not trying to dog somebody, and it's not a personal attack on somebody.
I mean, but you don't get it as bad. At least not like Kevin. Kevin gets it bad all the time.
Oh my God!
Every time you say something,
Nash?
you're Nash.
Oh
Every
my
time you say
gosh.
something, they go, you came up the top rope and broke your leg. That's the sweet every time. And and I love Kevin, and I just die laughing because it makes me laugh.
Kevin don't give a shit. He don't care.
He does not care.
I give him Kevin Nash updates. From
He gave me. It was yesterday.
Yeah, I gave you some yesterday.
You gave me some Kevin Nash up, and he said, "What?"
No, he does not. Oh my goodness, he lets it fly.
And it's good. But that's exactly, you're talking about like the Cody thing, right?
Yeah, I was telling you about Cody yesterday. What,
I don't think it's so people take that, and it could be his delivery a little bit, but I don't think Kevin has any angst towards Cody. It's just the way he perceives the business.
Yep.
And that's the nobody can
because he's not going on there. He's not saying, "Oh, Cody Rhodes is a terrible wrestler." He's just saying, "I wish that Cody
had done this,
and this to tell the story a little bit different." The moves in the ring are great. What he's doing for the business is great. But man, maybe try this or this just to make the story feel a little bit different. That's all Kevin's saying. His delivery is just a little bit different.
It can be a little abrasive.
Yeah. Abrasive is all his
Abrasive.
He comes out like a shotgun.
Yeah.
He's going to be our last guest on this show.
Oh my goodness. You guys are going to do numbers. You and Kevin
on
together?
Our final episode is going to be Kevin Nash and Mark, and I'm just going to serve him with popcorn, and I'm just going to watch those two guys light into the business.
This is the end right here.
They're just going to light into the business.
We need to see if I can get him booked.
Oh my goodness! I'm just gonna be in front of the wall just to see y'all talk.
Did you see the episode where his co-host asked him? He goes, it was like a Q&A that he was doing. He's like, "Would you ever go on Undertaker's podcast?" And Kevin's like, "I mean, I don't know." He goes, "I had to fly out there." And it's like, I said, "Y'all are the same exact person." I was like, "You and Kevin." And Taker goes, "Yeah, I understand that.
I understand that.
Because I wouldn't fly there either."
I get it. I don't want to drive across town to come do this. If I went for sponsors, I'm glad. I get to. I don't get to talk to. I get to hang out with my buddies, but
you know what it is? I think it's because being a wrestler, you're on the road. Especially back then, they were on the road like 5 days a week. So driving becomes like a hassle. So I understand your plight.
But okay, thank you for understanding. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, you and Kevin.
That was hilarious, and his comebacks are hilarious. He just goes, "Well, when you sell as much as I did, they can talk to me." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, the man sold merchandise. You can't." Hey, his comebacks are amazing.
It's always like, I didn't even have to go in the ring, and I made more money than everybody else.
And you wrote a bitch, and you're like, "Well, you kind of did. Yeah, okay, well, all right, you got me."
The way he says it is just so he just doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He's just sitting back, and he will sit there on his show, and he's like looking out his window, talking about the beach and everything else. Then it's all of a sudden he just rips into somebody. And he's like, "Oh man, looks like there's a storm coming."
Kevin, I always thought of Kevin like a 7-foot Dennis Miller. I don't know why he always reminded me of Dennis Miller, and it was from the way he held his microphone, with his big old giant hands, and the way he held the microphone to deliver whatever he was saying.
Condescending on everything.
Yes. There's a hint of sarcasm on everything.
Him standing in that ring when that blood comes flying, comes out, it falls beside him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And he's just standing there and he looks at that blood and he looks down at Vince Russo and he just shakes his head. And it's just like he's pulling back the curtain right there without even wanting to, really. And he's just like, this is a show if I've ever seen one.
His special expressions are priceless.
Oh my gosh. Him and Razor just as the outsiders.
Man.
That was so fun to watch, those two guys, especially early on.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys that actually he produced my first match ever, Razor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He came down one day to the PC and just saw me. He says, "Who the hell is that big guy? I wish I could wrestle because I want to wrestle him." And he and we got in the ring. He showed me a couple of things, and he's like, and I told him "Hey, I have a match." He goes, "Where?" I'm making Lincoln. He says, "I'll come." I was like, "Wait, what?" Wow. He said, "Yeah, I'll come." Drive up to the show, produced my first ever match.
That's great, man. That's great.
Ever match, just like you, he used to call me all the time. And what's funny about it? He would call me, and I'll ask him about how you doing, how the kids doing, how Sky doing. He would just come like, "Hey, big fella, how you doing? I'm doing well. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Love you, man." Click. If I could get a word in, click. He's gone. He's gone.
Oh yeah, Kevin. Razor. He didn't. He was I don't think he got his flowers enough
No.
for how good he was.
He was really
God,
good.
I loved Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
but I mean, even as Scott Hall,
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was talented. He was on my my first tour of Japan back in about way back.
Late 90s.
Later, maybe it was not late 90s. Maybe it was not even in the 90s.
Man, don't age yourself, man. You still look young, man.
There's an old school picture of you and him together, too.
Was that us shooting the double birds? Or,
Yeah.
That
That's
was
a
my first
classic.
trip to Japan. Yeah, he could go, man. He was really talented.
Yeah. He had that look, too. I mean, he was just chiseled perfect.
And he was
I mean,
tall, so also surprised.
Yeah, he was
When I saw him, I
6'4",
was like,
6'5".
6'4". I'm like, you're a pretty tall dude.
oh, wow. I didn't realize he was
And
that.
even as he aged, he still kept that swagger about himself. Like, it never went away. It was just part of who he was.
Yeah, but that's crazy. He produced your first match.
He produced my first match.
Jeez.
And that's insane, like the swagger part where, when he walks in a room, it's almost like, okay, that's the phenom, the dead man's walked in.
I remember the first time I met him, it was at the Performance Center. He came, I think they would do a NXT TV taping. And Hunter goes, hey, big fella, I have something for you to meet. He comes out the door, and I thought I saw a ghost. I was like, oh, holy shit, it is the Undertaker. It is the Undertaker. In my mind, I said to myself, you guys are kind of colleagues. Keep your cool. Don't be the mark. Don't be a mark. Keep your cool. And he goes, oh, big fella. I'm like, oh, he knows who I am. I'm like, oh, the Undertaker knows who I am. Okay. And he gives me a big hug. I'm like, oh. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Mom, I made it. Oh, one of the greatest recognizes me.
I used to go down there just check out, see who's coming up.
Yep.
See if I had enough juice to wait on them to get.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just like,
Remember that one time you guys came down and I was in the ring and I ripped my pants?
I do remember that. He ripped his
ripped my pants. I think it was the WrestleMania in New York. And they had come down that week. And we had a PC Live. Everybody was down there training. It was you, Batista. Everybody was down there training. And they told me, hey, wear your dress pants. And, I'm a young guy, so I wear the skinny, pants.
Yeah.
So I go from just standing in the ring to you're going to throw do a move. I'm like, brother, I can't do a move, but this pants is going to rip. They go, no, you'll be fine. I did it. I think it was a line or something, and I threw the line. I just said, and the whole PC is filled with everybody. I can see their faces look. I'm like, don't sell it. It was rips all the way here. I'm like, you know what? Thank God I didn't free ball that day. I had draws on. My junk would have been dangling all over the place.
Oh, you just said you ripped it down here, though.
No, all the way here. All the way inside here, all the way here. My whole ass was out. It was out, but I couldn't sell it because I was performing. I didn't have to keep a straight face.
Oh, man.
Performance under pressure, man.
Yes.
That's exactly what that was.
That is hilarious. Who was your first match with? That Razor.
It was they're not here anymore. It was a tag team. They're over at the other side now, AEW, Daddy Magic, and I forget his other name. But I wrestled them on my first show, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but it was great. I was super great. I was like, all right, here we go.
Where do you think he would have fit in the 90s and early 2000s?
Where would you fit in?
Yeah, where would he fit? When it comes to what you guys were doing, you always said that you enjoyed working with smaller guys and stuff like that. Do you think he would benefit with working with the smaller guys like the Eddie Guerreros and stuff like that, or
no? I think
it has to be with you and a
no, it
Kane.
didn't have to be that way. But he's so big that gosh, he would have had Big Show. He had Kane.
Yeah.
Even Mick would have been a good.
Oh yeah.
A good opponent. There were lots of guys who'd been able to work with.
Who do you wish that during those eras who do you wish that you could have worked with?
Him.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much watched all of your matches, and I see how he was freaking athletic, and I'm just like, I can base for him. He can do all these athletic things that he wants to do and really get it off. Because he did work against someone like me, while against somebody who's smaller, you don't want to do too much. But against me, he can pull out all the stops, right? And he makes for an entertaining match.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to wrestle him. Every time I watch his match, I'm like, dang it, I came a little too late.
A little too late.
A little too late.
If you'd have gave up on that basketball thing a little earlier.
You know what's funny? I had a tryout in I was supposed to have a tryout in 2014 after my undergrad. And I was at Morgan State. I was pretty much done basketball. I was depressed on basketball. And I called, this was when Canyon was still with us. I called, set up a tryout, had a fight booked. And I still had 1 year left of eligibility. This is before the whole NIL thing changed everything. And I was supposed to fly from Baltimore to Orlando for the tryout. Like my hotel was booked. And last minute, my friend goes, hey, if you go to that tryout, you're done with college basketball. I go, what? He says, yeah, that's considered a gift.
Oh.
And I go, wow. So I was like, yeah, I did my 1 year college because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or anything.
Sure.
There was certainty.
Yeah.
Because before that, Steve Kerr had been putting pressure on me to join the WWE for the first time he laid eyes on me at USF. And that's why I didn't come earlier like I should have.
No, everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
so you graduated. Did you graduate?
I graduated. I have a master's in business.
Master's in business. Excellent.
Graduated. Yeah, done with college. Because African parents are like when the kids vary from educational careers. So I had to make sure my education was done, and then I'm going to wrestle. Wrestle. I'm like, yeah, but I have my degree. Here you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go wrestle.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it prepares you to don't end up like what I did. I thought I was going to, for whatever reason, I thought I was going to do this forever.
You did forever. You
I did do it. I mean, I did it for longer than a lot of people, but I really didn't make an exit plan. That's the thing where I just ran until the tires fell off, right? Where I couldn't physically do it anymore, and then had to stop and think okay, now you got to figure out part two. Which may sound shocking to a lot of people that I didn't have that presence of mind, but I just figured I'm going to do this, and then on the other hand, your body isn't quite responding the way it should to what you're asking it to do. Maybe you might want to think about, doing a rap here. And, but yeah, I mean, just keep all the fires, keep that business acumen in the forefront and be ready for when you had enough of this. Because it's funny. It sounds like you like me. I love basketball. Everything was dedicated to basketball until wrestling came.
Dude, I tell people all the time, they ask me, do you still play? I'm like, no, I have no urge. The moment I got into wrestling and I hit down for the first time, I knew basketball was over.
I was exactly the same way.
I was like, basketball is done. I don't want to play. I don't want to touch it. I knew. You ever see the photos where the guys hang up their sneakers on the? That was me. It was done. It was after once I hit the ropes, I was like, yeah, this is done. This is done. I should have been doing this a long time ago. This is done. This is where I belong.
Yeah, I was exactly the same way. After everything was basketball. Get up early in the morning, go and shoot, and then eat, and then
more basketball,
pickup games. And then when it was done,
it's done.
I could care less.
And I think the other piece too, talking about that exit strategy and having that plan for the future, is also not maybe allowing wrestling to be your full identity of who you truly are, right? To where whenever you do go to walk away from it, you've got other things in your life that you have invested in, to where. Because I feel like
was that a personal attack on me?
Not a personal attack. I feel like we've talked about it, where that was your identity and that's who you were, and it's really hard. And it's not just in wrestling. It's in business, and and I come from the military, and so there's so many guys that they wrap their life around being in the military, and then when it's time to leave, they kind of just don't know what to do next and can't figure that part out. And being able to do that, and you see it with football players, you see it with baseball players and stuff. So being able to kind of have that understanding of when it's time to hang it up, you've got this other thing that you can focus on.
But it's hard though, especially he loves wrestling.
Yeah.
So do I. So when you genuinely have a love for it, where nobody has to force you to do it, because after a while, probably can attest to this, basketball became like a chore.
No, yeah.
It became like, same here, it became like a chore.
Yeah.
But me, going to the ring, wrestling, going on the road, does not feel like a chore. Like it's something like I look forward to doing, So it's kind of hard not to get your identity wrapped up in it when it's something that you actually really enjoy. Even my wife is shocked because she goes, wow, you're actually watching wrestling. Like you never watch basketball. Like when you were playing basketball, like I see you watching wrestling all the time, watching the pay-per-views. I'm like, she's like, I can tell that you love it. I'm like, I guess. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, and where you're at in it too right now. The more you consume,
the better.
Obviously, the better you're going to be, and you're going to figure out, okay, why does that work for him, and how can I do the same thing? It's just I said it at all. You could never be content.
Nope.
You never can be content. I don't know how long you're there, but you have to continually to evolve, and make yourself better, because if you don't, you become yesterday. Yeah, you become stale, and there's always somebody else that's coming up. Our audience is very. They're loyal as a whole, but they're fickle to who they're going to get behind.
Yep.
So if you're not making yourself better, you're backing up.
Who do you watch right now for kind of when you watch to try to learn things from outside of Undertaker? Who are some other guys that you go back and watch some of their matches?
I watch Kane. I watch a lot of Andre. I watch a lot of just the old big guys, Haystacks, Bundy. I watch just a lot of old guys. Like I watch it took me a while to watch the old wrestling because it's very slow.
It is very slow.
It's very very slow, and it took me a while to really watch it. I think once my psychology improved, I was able to understand what they're trying to tell, and I had the patience to understand and watch it. So I just try to watch a lot of old wrestling matches. Doesn't matter. I remember I saw Dave Taylor the other day. I was like, hey, I saw your match the other day. You're wrestling the Italian style. He goes, what? I'm like, yeah. I just saw it, watched it, saw how you did your work. And he was like, wow. I'm like, yeah. Because for me personally, I feel like if you're in this sport and you want to be good at it, you should just watch the old stuff, actually. More than the new stuff. You should watch all the old things.
Yeah, you got to watch it all. You got to watch the old stuff, but you have to watch the pace of where the product is now. And I don't think the audience has the patience to set up a match like I like to work. Like I would start slow, and then crescendo up, and then level out, and then up and level out.
But I think that's a better form of storytelling because
it is. It is, but I'm just talking about what the audience is conditioned right now, because everybody is just wanting to.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. This is how I become like an old guy. Sometimes I watch some matches, I go, why, and it drives me nuts because now I'm sounding like the old guy from the '70s, and I go, why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so, I know. Believe me. I sit at home sometimes, and I have long discussions with the TV.
talking to wrestlers through the television.
Well, you know what? It's funny. A lot of times, yes, but a lot of times, what's so funny is Kaya. Kaya's 12, and she's ate up with it. Like
I can tell. She comes around, her eyes is like lit up.
She wanted to skip school today, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
Just to be here to
Yeah, she loves you. And
she's awesome.
Yeah. She was like, can I how long y'all gonna be there? I'm like, baby, we're gonna be there all day. I said, he's not gonna be there all. She goes, well, can I just go and say hello and then go to school? I can't drive you back across town. Like she was throwing everything out there, but she's totally ate up with the business, right? And I'm like, Michelle gets pissed at me because I
pushed her into it.
I try to suppress it sometimes, but she'll ask the most like genuine questions, and I'm like, I don't know why that just happened, or what she'll call spots out, like she'll call finishes, and she'll call like that's like was bad, or it was like botched or something. She'll go, that didn't work the way it was supposed to, huh, Dad? And I was like, no, that wasn't close to working the way it was supposed to.
She has a good eye.
She has a good eye, and she gets me listening all the time. She goes, Dad, why do they slap their legs like that? I was like, don't ever slap your leg. Don't ever slap your leg. She's like, what? And then she'll start doing it. I don't know.
This irritates you?
It irritates the crap out of me. I was like, if you ever get in a wrestling ring and you do that, I will. And it just adds to it. And she's smacking Colt like.
I hate it too.
Oh, it's so overdone. But anyway,
it is.
It's over.
But you know what? There's a magic to how to do it.
Yes, there is.
There's a magic, because sometimes what I do is I always tell people, ask me like, "Oh, why don't you like?" I'm like, "Have you ever seen the photo when he catches steals and look, and you can see it in action?" I said,
"Yeah."
To me, it just gives away the trick away. It gives the trick away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I think it's laziness. Really, it's gone from people that used to do it like Lawler was really slick about it and could do it, and now it's just. The little things with a lot of guys, not everyone, but a lot of guys, it's the little things that you really don't think much about. Mm-hmm. It's the transitions and all of those little things that actually make it all tie together, that kind of they're just done. Because however I got to get to this next big move, I just want to get there instead of taking your time and processing. So, but again,
new time, new era.
my humble opinion, I'm not attacking anyone. I'm not calling anyone soft. And if you want to play video games, that's fine.
I mean, I understand, because I was looking up for like my first coaches at the PC, Robbie Brookside and Johnny Moss, and the British guys, they hate it.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like every time someone would check in the class, it was 10 push-ups. So I'm just conditioned not to do it. Yeah. There's other ways to make sound without, slapping and checking. So I just never fond of it. And plus, like when I was watching the fight the other night, the UFC fight, Alex Pereira, that was a great fight, by the way. It didn't sound like this. Those punches didn't sound like that. Those were snug. Those were some snug punches.
It sounded like dropping a big ribeye steak on a counter. It was like, dude, he pieced him up good.
Man, he's on a tear.
Man, we were talking with Booker, not long ago about the fight.
Roundtree, man, he
ate those punches, man, because that couldn't be me. God.
Tough dude, man.
That's tough, dude, because he got
pieced up.
Yup, he got pieced. The whole chicken meal, 5-piece combo with the salad fries, the whole chicken meal. I was watching, like, wow. Like, and I was like, the whole time, I'm like, yeah, like, Roundtree, he's great. He has a heart, but he should have taken him down. You don't want to stand up for that. He's too good of a striker. And to be honest, I think now everybody who's gotten in the ring with Pereira now has a lot of respect for Adis Israel. Is it because he fought him 5 times?
Yeah,
he fought the same guy 5 times, and he's running through you guys just one time.
Yeah.
So you guys are like, this guy, he's not an easy opponent. Like, you have to like come with all your willpower to even scratch him.
Yeah. No, I would double leg him right out of the get-go.
Double leg him. I'm like, everybody's trying to strike. I'm like, don't strike. Why are you striking? He's a kickboxer.
He's a kickboxer.
He's a kickboxer.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He is, we were talking about, I'd loving to see him and Jones.
Oh, my goodness.
He had a catch weight or something.
I got Jones, though, man. Jones is just...
Well, that's what we said. It's hard to bet against him until no one's beat him, right?
No one's beating him.
It's hard to bet against him.
It's hard. If Jones would probably just have to take him down. You don't want...
And Jones will maul you once he takes you down. I mean, he's so strong in every facet. It's just, man.
That fight would be...
Oh, yeah, biggest draw. I don't know where you go from there after that.
I don't know.
You could sell out the state of Texas. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
the biggest pay-per-view in the world, that fight.
That would be big.
You
that
could
would be huge.
kill it. They could put that in the biggest arena. And...
Come on, Dana, make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Oh, Dana would probably love nothing more. But I don't know. I mean, John Jones is his boy, and I don't know if he wants to see him.
Dude, For $1, for money,
For the money?
you can't. He don't care if you
win
win
or
a damn.
lose.
Not even the
That's his
slightest.
boy. He has gone on record of saying that any man that goes in a room with John Jones is going to walk out of that room.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get much more of a stamp of validation than that. But when you talking about pay-per-view numbers and
It'd be stupid. It'd be stupid
Oh
money.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my. Do the Saudi Arabia too. Oh.
Oh, if they did it, yeah. If they did it in Saudi Arabia,
Oh, it's over.
that's a retirement match.
Retirement match for that, man. I'm done, Perry. I'm going back to Brazil, my family.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm gonna get back and buy Brazil.
Yeah, pretty much.
After that match, what you gonna
that
think on that?
that might get me off the couch. I'd actually might have to go see that one in person.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, and I don't say that often anymore.
especially having to go across the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that works out pretty good for me usually.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's usually a good time.
That's usually okay for me.
I remember when we came back from the pandemic, we had the PLE in Saudi Arabia, and I'm like, take her, open it for people, and I'm in the elevator. And I'm in the elevator, and I come down, and he walks out, go, what? He's like, go ahead and talk about it, brother. He just goes upstairs.
That story is one of my favorite stories. We go to dinners, and I'm always like, hey, bring up Pitbull. And he just...
Not my proudest moment, man.
He drinks an entire bottle of wine telling that story. I see him so pissed off.
Because I was watching the video, I'm like, wait, he's introducing him. I'm like they know that he doesn't talk, right? Like, they don't understand, like, he does not speak. Like, his name is the dead man. Like, he does not speak coming in. People.
Oh Lord, we could have done
Sorry.
all day without.
I'm so
bringing
glad
up-
you brought that up. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
My goodness! Wow, look at the time.
You want to catch that early flyer, right?
Wow, I can't believe you turned on me like that. Turned on me like a viper.
You're going to get nothing but bad advice moving
Oh
forward.
yeah.
Hey, Tate, what do you think about
I want you
this?
throwing drop kicks. I want you
that leg.
slap that leg.
The moment I throw a drop kick on see if I know what's gonna happen, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna see the phone.
You ain't gonna make it home.
I ain't gonna make it home.
You ain't gonna make it home for that text.
I tell this all the time. I'm like, hey, we can do this, but like, I don't want to get cursed out. You know, I'm gonna get a call today if we do this because someone very important is not gonna be very happy with me. So can we do it this way instead?
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm like, please trust me because you're not gonna hear the blunt of it. I am. It's gonna be on my head.
Do you ever, with your athleticism, do you ever get the urges to kind of do some of the high flying stuff though?
So, when I first got to the PC, right, I think because of how athletic I am, they're just like, let's try everything. So I tried everything. When I mean tried everything, I tried everything. And to be honest, I nailed about like 80% of everything that was thrown at me. But what happened was, I started getting hurt.
Imagine that. You mean to tell me a 7'3" man is not supposed to fly through the air?
I started getting hurt, and I was like, yeah. It was. I remember Naya would come to the Peace Nia Jax, so that's Nia Jax. She'd be like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I'm in class, man, you know? You know?
It's. I'll tell you what. It's nice to have it in the toolbox.
Yes.
But it's even nicer not to have to pull it out. That was for years. That was one of Big Show's biggest problems. He was so athletic for his size that he wanted to do all those crazy things. And you talking about looking at your phone and get cussed out. I actually called, he was still in WCW, Big Show was. Mm-hmm. And he took a shooting star suplex from somebody. And I actually called.
Oh, I think it was Mr. Perfect. I remember. Yep.
He took it from, and I ended up calling my buddy Brian, he's passed away now, but Brian Adams was still working in WCW, and I called Brian and I said, get him on the phone right now, or put him on the phone. And he's like, well, what happened? I said, just put him on the phone. Anyway, I get him on the phone. Never had met him before. Never spoken a word to him. I said, you dumb son. if I ever see you take that bump again. And he was like, well, he's trying to introduce himself. And I'm like, I know who you are. If you ever want to do anything, I don't ever want to see you take that bump again. But he could do it, and he did it well. But it was just like, no, you've been blessed with a gift.
Yeah.
Right? It's like John Wooden used to say, you can't coach size.
Nope.
And in the fact that you got athletic ability on top of size, don't do that. Don't make yourself normal. Don't.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing that you have to fight, because your pride saying, I can do that.
Yep.
I can do that. And I'm bigger than everybody else. It's going to be really impressive. But then it's like, well, why are you any different than him? You're doing the same
you
stuff.
pull those things out every now. Like for you, I feel like when you would run and jump over the rope and stuff like that, the dive out of the ring and stuff.
It was a desperation deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all of a sudden we saw, holy crap, look what he just did, because you didn't do it constantly.
Yep.
It wasn't an all the time
No,
thing.
I did it judiciously, and I would do it out of desperation, like I'm getting my ass handed to me, and I need to do something to change the flow of the match, or I did it to set something else up. But no, Lord, no. I mean, I wouldn't do it. You can't watch one of our shows without somebody doing a dive over the top rope.
Yeah.
No comment.
I'm just, and believe me, I say it all the time, and you can vouch for that. I mean, the athleticism on the roster right now,
Insane.
it is insane. And there's some people that I think my problem is they don't get the mileage out of some of the things that they do.
It's like throwaways.
It's throwaway stuff. It's so impressive, and then you're just up and you're doing something else, and you don't let it breathe long enough for people to really appreciate, because it happens and they're like, whoa, and then you're up and it's like, let that breathe, let them absorb what just
happened,
because you just don't see that kind of athleticism every day.
Yeah.
And again, that goes back to the art of storytelling, but that's just, that's a pet peeve of mine. And,
that's the one thing he told me, like, slow down. Because when I first started, I was like very antsy to want to like go fast. I was like, no, just slow down for right now. Slow down.
Yeah. Well, you're so physically, I mean, the whole reason you're so physically dominant over anybody on that roster. I mean, who's the closest guy to Braun?
Braun, yeah.
Yeah. And you dwarf him.
Yeah.
And he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Big dude.
So, I mean, I don't want to see somebody. I want to see the great white shark. I want to see him hit the seal and then swim around it for a while.
Yeah.
Let that seal, flip around, and before, like, oh my gosh, what's he going to do next?
Yeah. That's the part right there where, as a fan, I want to sit there and I'm watching you and I'm going, what is he about to do right now? Like, this is,
he can do anything he wants.
You can do anything you want, and you're just walking around that ring, and it's a very intimidating thing. And I think a lot of times with guys that just, like you guys, like you've said a million times, they just want to get to that next move, and they want to be able to kind of show off a little bit what they can do, and they just want to get to it.
It's about the story, man.
When wrestling is not
about
about the moves, it's about the
about the story.
Yeah, it's the moves in between the moves, that really matter.
Because if not, it becomes sorry, Michael Bay. Even though it becomes like a Michael Bay action flick, it feels like a throwaway.
Yeah,
it's just another action flick with all the.
There's another explosion.
Another explosion. Slow motion here.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. But anyway, I'll take my heat. I'm dogging the business again. I'm bitter old timer.
But to be honest, when I look at the top of the card, they wrestle in the same way you're speaking of. Like,
I wasn't going to mention that. But
I mean,
Gunther's got the belt for a reason.
Yeah. If they wrestle in that style, like it works if it's done properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at Roman. People are begging for Roman constantly still, right?
I mean, that story has so many layers to it, right?
I remember because I was doing media the weekend of SummerSlam when he came back, and I remember when he came back there, and I think everyone was expecting him to grab the mic and say something. And for the next 3 shows, did not pick up a mic. It was just all emoting, body animation. I was like, oh, this is like a whole different level of storytelling.
Yep. It's very, very, very well done.
He does not have to. Once again, he's a guy that. I mean, he just got back in the ring at Bad Blood, but he didn't have to get back in the ring for. Well, he was able to take that time off, and the fans were still begging for him. Mm-hmm. He's still being talked about.
I think. When did you realize? When did you realize you're at that point where like you had the fans in the palm of your hands? Because I think that's where he is now. Like he knows he has them here. Mm-hmm. When did you feel that for yourself?
God, maybe, I don't know. Maybe what? Survivor Series 1990. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But here's the reality of it. You kind of did.
Well,
Yes.
no, I was still trying to figure it out.
But you
captured them.
You captured that audience as soon as you walked out of that curtain.
Yes.
When you go back and you look at those kids' faces that night, you had them, and you might not have had them exactly in the palm,
but you had them captivated.
You had them captivated.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the thing they'll get credit for is like, you selling as a dead human being. Like, how do you sell as someone who's like came back from the dead?
Very slowly.
That's hard. That's hard because like we've never seen a zombie come out of like other than movies.
Right.
We've never seen someone come back from the dead. So like for you to be able to still emote that and to tell a story is like it's like pretty impressive.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but I just going back to like Roman, because it always look back at this one segment I did with Triple H. Like I had been off TV and he had been off TV, and we were going to work at Mania. And I made so I came out first. People are going nuts, right? Undertaker's back. And when I got to the ring, before I could say anything, Triple H's music hits. And he'd been nursing an injury, so he had been off TV for months. And now they're they're like, what? Because we got two comebacks at one point, and he comes to the ring, and we did the old, we did an old stare down. We never said a word to each other. Not one word on the mic. We stared at each other, and then we looked up at the sign, and then the place erupted because they understood, like, oh, Triple H and Undertaker going at WrestleMania.
Wow.
And we never said a word to each other.
That's the magic for me.
And that was one of the, like, talking about like special moments of feeling and knowing that you have them, because they understood everything and there was nothing said. And I was just like, we got in the back and we were like two little giddy schoolgirls. we got him. But we knew it. We figured, like, we wanted to always have that. I loved like going into Manias and trying not to have any physicality with my opponent.
I was about to say that.
That's hard.
Not even having to touch, not even
That's
touching
hard,
each other.
especially building it for months in advance. That's hard.
Yeah, and I would try every year. I was like, I don't want any physicality. Of course, damn. I mean, we got to do, we got to do this, we got to do that. I'm telling you, I said, we can do it. We can do this completely without touching. Because by the time, a lot of times, the way we book things is like every week, okay, this guy gets to him, and then he gets to him, and then by the time you get to Mania, or whatever big match it is, you've already seen them go back and forth.
Yeah.
And
you've taken out the tension.
Yeah, I want to build that tension up. Like, what's going to happen? And I think who's done a really good job of it, and who's had a good run of late is Punk and McIntyre.
Oh, man.
I mean, that was good. I mean, you made it to Hell in a Cell, brother. That's the blow off of blow offs. But Drew has really elevated his game,
and I think Punk has helped that a lot.
I think so too. Yeah.
Punk has really pulled him into a different level that I think Drew needed a Punk to bring him to. That we all knew that Drew had. But he just didn't have that guy that could
pull it out of him.
Yeah, pull it out of him.
That's been entertaining. That's been entertaining, man.
And I just don't know if there was anybody else on the card lately that could do that for Drew. And CM Punk's been able to tap into whatever it was with Drew that's made it where, my God, we wanted to see that match. We wanted to see that Hell in a Cell match. And yeah, that was absolutely amazing to see those two go at it. And how that story, there's so many good stories right now.
A lot.
So many. We talk about Dominic Mysterio.
That was brilliant, him hanging up in the cage.
She wore his ass.
Yeah, she wore him out.
She wore him out.
But he's another guy that doesn't have to get in the ring.
Nope.
And he has so much heat.
So, yep. That's what you want. I say all the time. Like, sometimes you just want the heat. If you can get the heat and it's organic and you don't have to force it, that's the best.
Just his look.
Just his look. He has this smug look, and he has a mustache now, the long mustache.
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
And the mullet. I'm like, yeah, he looks like somebody just want to punch in the face.
He comes out with the Eddie Guerrero lowrider. I mean, like, he's tapping into stuff, man. He's tapping into stuff. That's amazing.
Maybe he needs a big heater.
Oh, maybe.
Lets him get away with even more.
I mean, they lost their big guy in Judgment Day. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
my services are available.
Your services are available. Do you imagine him with a heater? Like, can't touch me.
Can't touch me.
No. Can't touch me.
Every time somebody comes after him, you step in front of him. Yeah. Yeah. Who do you like watching right now, though?
I like watching Gunther. He's very methodical. Even the way he cuts his promos, like, he's very smug and sarcastic and very condescending.
And very believable.
That Goldberg was hilarious. I was dying at home.
I haven't seen it. He told me about it.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. I was like, wait, is he really going at Goldberg? I was like, no way. And then Goldberg, I'm like, is he going to hop over the cage? I'm like, oh no, he's hopping over the cage. Oh no, he's trying to get in the ring. Security comes. I'm like, oh, this is like okay. It was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen.
That'll be a test.
That will be a test. I expect that to happen.
More ways than one.
I mean, I watch Roman. I watch Randy a lot. I watch Randy and Roman a lot. I watch Roman because, like, he's not only a great performer, he's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's an amazing actor.
It's so good in his run, the amount of people that he's elevated along the way.
Man.
I mean, he's damn near added half the roster through his run, and that's the sign. And that's a sign of being next level.
Is Cody Rhodes without Roman?
I don't, man.
You need like Cody. I think Cody. He would have been Cody, but I think he needed that antagonist in Roman.
Yeah, and you have to imagine. I mean, Roman was well on his way before Cody even got there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he already had a tremendous title run. So I don't know that it means as much without Roman. I mean, Roman's top of the food chain, man.
Because it's like family versus family. Whose family is like?
There's so many layers.
There's like a lot of layers. Like his family is diverse with his dad. Like it's just they kind of grew up in the business together. You know, so it's
stuff that it doesn't take a lot to you can understand it. Like, oh damn, their legacies, everything is involved here, and man, it was really
I feel like
good.
It took that type of story though for Cody Rhodes to get over as much as he is right now, though. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like it was just your everyday type of storyline, winning the championship and everything. The fact that they didn't put the belt on him in LA. And then
the greatest decision, I think, in the whole deal.
Same here. He built the angst for him to actually win it when he did this year.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Because, I mean, I think all the money was on him to win it in LA.
Yeah. I wasn't available, though.
Weren't able to come help.
I was busy. I was tied up.
What was your reaction when you saw him come out at Mania?
I was like, what?
They're bringing out the old guys.
I had gone. I was like, whoa.
Is business that bad where we got to bring out all the
I was ready to dust me off.
To be honest, in all honesty, I was extremely happy for you when that happened because his retirement match with AJ, while it was amazing, the Boneyard match, he didn't really get the feel from the audience because once you become a performer, and he knows this, there's a certain feeling you get from being in the ring and getting that energy from the audience, and he didn't get that on his supposedly last match ever, right?
Yeah.
I say supposedly because I'm still hoping that he comes back for one more with me. Hopefully. But,
It's got to be in Saudi Arabia, though.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia. Oh, my goodness. Turtle El Sheikh, make it happen. Hey, we'll sell that arena.
I don't know. He doesn't have much luck in Saudi Arabia when it comes to matches. I don't know if you want that. I don't know if you want that, big guy.
I remember that. I remember that.
He's over two.
Well, one we lost, and the one my pride got beat.
Yes. The record might show 1-1, but we all know it's an 0-2.
That's so not funny.
Yeah, but like seeing him come out there and get the audience reaction when the gong went off, man, that just made me so happy for you, man. I'm like, yes. I'm like, if he can probably ride to the sunset. I feel like I've done everything I needed to do in this business, and not feel the need to want to list the boots back on because he got that moment, which was like to be part of another great moment in Cody winning the belt. So I was happy he was able to get that.
Yeah, and you probably just felt like a fan all over again too. You went back to being a kid.
I tell people all the time, I am a huge Mark. I watch all the wrestling shows. I'm up on everybody. I am a Mark myself. I enjoy the product.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun night. It was.
It was
a fun night.
No one knew other than Michelle. Everybody else, we had 15, 20 people in the suite.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody.
And then earlier that night, or before the show started, he comes up, he's sitting in the suite, and looking back, and I'm like, there's some of this got to be. He's never sat on the front row of a suite before. Okay?
No, you always hidden. He's like next to hide. He's always hidden.
He's always in the back corner.
Everywhere.
He's in the back
time.
corner. Everything, right?
Everything.
He's on the front row, and everyone out there's turned around. They're cheering him, thank you, Taker. They're giving him his flowers, and he's messing with the crowd. He never does those things, right?
No.
Yeah. And I'm like, and looking back at it, I'm like, this man knew exactly what he was doing.
You're prepping them
earlier in that day. He's sitting up, he's eating Philly cheesesteak egg rolls and everything else with us. He got a couple beers, and he's like, I'm good. Yeah, and I'm like, all right, it's a fun night. Then he jumped up and ran out of the suite.
He ran? Hey, this is working. Running?
I thought the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls had hit him, and he was like having a
bathroom break.
I was like, I was there yesterday. So he runs out, and then my wife, about an hour later, she goes, "Where's Mark?" And I was like, "I don't know." I said, "He might be in another suite having to, shake hands and, do the thing, be Undertaker." She goes, "He's coming out tonight." I was like, "He's not coming out tonight." I said, "That makes no sense for him to come out tonight." After he does it, everybody out there turns around and looks back up at the suite. And I was like, and I'm sitting there just as surprised. I was like, I don't know. Yeah. But Jake Paul and Logan Paul were 2 suites down. And right before you came out, all the kids that were up there, they were all they were asking your daddy-in-law, "Hey, Mr. Taylor."
My daddy-in-law. Your daddy-in-law.
Your father-in-law, whatever. I'm from the South, by God. Your father-in-law.
You're south of South.
Yeah. They're like, do you know Jake and Logan Paul? Terry's like, I don't know Jake and Logan Paul. and I'm over there. I know a guy that knows him. I'm trying to text. Dude, when he comes out, I looked down. That suite
went bonkers.
Insane. I thought Jake and Logan were going to fall out the front of it out into. They were kids all over again as well. That moment was pretty special in my opinion.
No, it was.
Yeah, to be able to see that was pretty special.
It was.
Yeah, I was around.
Hey, man, hopefully he got one more.
Anyway, hey, This is the part where first we thank you, yes. Matt. You want to hit up our sponsors because I think we just wrapped this one.
Almost. If you have a minute, do you want to stick around for some Q&A? Some fans have submitted some questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're part of our Patreon, head over there to let's do the Q&A with Omos. If you're not, please head over and sign up so you can submit questions as well. I want to thank DraftKings to keep the lights on. First Phorm, Happy Dad, great sponsors of ours. Bluechew and
you know
Magic
what those are, right?
Bluechew.
No, man.
Oh yeah.
You gonna end up like Shannon Sharp?
No, bro. Steroids for your wiener.
I know what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. You're gonna end up like Shannon Sharp.
No, bro. I'm not going to go that far. They're awesome. They're an awesome sponsor, though.
They are. Bluechew's a great sponsor. Magic Spoon. We appreciate all of our sponsors. Thank you for listening. Go subscribe. And now we're going to head into the Q&A session with the big man here.